Okay, if you want to use the box method for factoring with a leading coefficient, but you're having trouble, I want to show you a couple more example problems so that you can get into the rhythm of doing it. First one that I'm going to do is 6x squared minus 7x plus 2. And I want to check to begin with to see if there's a GCF. And what I see is that there's no GCF, so I'm just going to go right ahead in the next step. This is going to be an advanced problem because there's a 6 here. So if you like to write that down, this is advanced. Okay, to do an advanced problem, you have to start by multiplying. So I have positive 12 on top, I did 6 times 2, and negative 7 on the bottom. This part is the same. I do factors of 12 that add up to negative 7. It's like a puzzle. And I'm going to figure out, okay, they both have to be negative because I need a positive number up here and a negative number here. It's negative 4 and negative 3. Okay, now what's different is what we're going to do with those numbers. So if you want to use the box method, you build a box like this, and you put the first term, 6x squared, in the first box, and the last term, 2, in the last box. These numbers go in the other two boxes, and it doesn't matter which goes where, and you must put an X on them, like that. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to look at each row and column separately and come up with a GCF. So I look at 6x squared and negative 4x. I see then for the number part, they both have a 2 in common. And for the variable, they both have an x. And then I look at this row. Okay, 3x and 2. Well, they don't really seem to have any number in common, but I have to put something. So I put a 1. Now, because this box is negative, the one that's right next to it, I make it negative 1. It's all about the box that's right next to it. All right, then I'm going to do this column. For the numbers, 6 and negative 3, they have a 3 in common. It's positive because this box here is positive. And then x squared and x, they have an x in common, so I put 3x. And then I'm going to look at the second column. Negative 4x and 2, they have a 2 in common, and I'm going to make it negative because this box is negative. Yeah. Okay, these are my factors. 3x minus 2, 2x minus 1. I'm going to check it by foiling. 6x squared, outer term, inner term, last term. These two combine to make 7x plus 2. Done. These are my factors, okay, using the box method. Okay, I'm going to try another one. I should move this forward. Okay, I'm going to do 5x squared plus 36x. My hand is not the best for this job. I need to hold my pencil differently. Plus 7. Okay, first of all, I'm looking at this. There's no GCF. Bummer. Okay, there is a leading coefficient, so this is an advanced problem. I start by multiplying 5 times 7. That's the number that goes on top, and 36 at the bottom. Factors of 35 that add up to 36, it's got to be 35 and 1. Okay, build your box. Now, I'm building a box because this is an advanced problem. If this were a standard problem, I would just be taking these numbers and writing my factors. 5x squared, first number goes in the first box, 7. 35, 1. Again, it doesn't matter which one you put where. Put an X on them, though. You got to remember to do that. Okay, then I look at rows and columns. What do these have in common? Well, the numbers have a 5 in common, and they both have an X. 1x and 7, they don't seem to have anything in common, but you got to put something, so you put 1. 5x squared and x. Well, 5 and 1 have no GCF, but x squared and x, that's an x. And over here, 35x and 7, well, they have a 7 in common. There's my factors. 5x plus 1 from this side, x plus 7. I'm going to check it by foiling it. 5x squared, outer term, inner term, and last term. Oh, that works because these combine to make 36. So these are my factors. Okay. All right. Last one. I'm going to do one more. I'm running out of room on my paper. Okay. I will do 8x squared minus 2x minus 6. First of all, I see there's a GCF. It's 2. So I'm going to start by dividing that off. And I get 4x squared minus 1x minus 3. Ooh, don't forget to write it. It goes along for the ride. Okay, looking at what's in the parentheses, this is an advanced problem too because of that 4. Not because of the 8 at the beginning, but because of the 4. This is the problem that I'm working on. The 2 is just going along for the ride. So I have another advanced problem. Okay, so I'm going to start by multiplying. 4 times negative 3. I'm going to put some more room over here for my x because I'm running out of space. So I'm going to put negative 12 on top and negative 1 on the bottom. Factors of negative 12 that add up to negative 1 are negative 4 and 3. So then I'll make a box, put it here to save some space. First term goes in the first box. Now notice the first term is 4x squared because I'm working on this problem now. The 2 has already been factored out. This is the problem I need. Negative 3, negative 4, and 3. Put x's on them. Okay, then I work on my rows and columns. What do these have in common? Well, they have a 4x. What do those have in common? Well, they have a 3. It's a positive 3 because the closest box is positive. What do these have in common? Well, 4 and 3 have no GCF but x squared and x. They have an x in common. And these seem to have nothing in common, so you got to put something. You put a 1, and it's going to be a negative 1 because this number is negative, because the closest box is negative. So there's my factors. 4x plus 3, x minus 1. Here they are. Now I'm going to check them. I might run out of room here. 4x squared, outer term, inner term, last term. 4x squared plus x, minus x minus 3. I'm only working in pen so you can see it better. And then 8x squared, I'm distributing minus 2x minus 6. That's what I started with. Yay. Okay. There's 3 problems with the box method.